Hello, LinkedIn, Twitter, whoever is watching this family. We are checking in. I'm checking in from our family camper, also known as Conference Room C, at our household in quarantine due to coronavirus. And I've just got a couple notes here that I jotted down. And I wanted to make this video today because I felt really energized about something new that I'm going to be doing. So back in January, I recorded a video of me singing, and many people don't know that I am actually a musician and I used to sing professionally. And it's something that I haven't done in a while. And this video was recorded in January, pre-coronavirus now. And I've taken some time during this quarantine to really kind of self-reflect on myself, the things that I'm learning now about what makes me authentically me. I think as we have blended the work office, co-working, cohabitating, homeschooling, fourth grade teacher, doing the best I can, and also trying to continue to pursue our hobbies and our dreams and the things that we want to do. I've learned a lot about myself, and I thought I went back to this video that I recorded in January and thought, gosh, why push it off more? Why continue to pause in a time where I actually have more time to pursue a hobby or to pursue something that's extracurricular, right? And so, and I'm posting this on LinkedIn because it's part of my profession, and I took it off of my LinkedIn profile a while ago because I was, pursuing kind of my own brand representation and persona as an event marketer, which I do that by day, right, by trade. And the musician piece kind of faded out over time because I couldn't maintain both and being a working mom. And so a couple things that I wanted to share. I did some self-reflecting. I thought, gosh, what makes me me? And music was one of them. And it's so deeply ingrained in me. And the second one was, everyone has a story. And my particular story happens to be that, I am a survivor of many things, domestic violence being one of them. And so I'm here to share kind of what I'm going to do over this next kind of week and a half or so. So I've decided to put on a free concert from this camper. Yay! I'll probably call it, concerts from the camper or concerts from Conference Room C, some marketing, messaging around it. It'll be fun. And I will put on a concert, and I don't know who's going to tune in or where I'm going to host it on. I'll figure that part out. But the second piece to that is I have created a campaign for LifeWire, which is an organization based out of Bellevue, Washington. And they're an organization that's dedicated to supporting domestic violence survivors, both youth and adult, adults and their children, and provide resources for survivors. And they had an event originally planned for May 2nd that they are no longer able to put on due to coronavirus. I'm in the events industry. I know all too well exactly, the losses on companies and especially organizations like these that depend on that funding and depend on that revenue. So they actually have LifeWire out of Bellevue actually has a campaign of their own that they're running. They're looking to raise $500,000. That's in place of what they anticipated raising at the annual gala. And so I've created my own fundraiser campaign page, and I'm hoping to raise $2,000 to go toward their $500,000 goal. And so I will be promoting that along with the free concert that I will do, and hoping that people that tune in, if you are able to donate in lieu of, I don't know, tips or a cover charge, a door charge for a concert, that you are able to donate to this organization supporting domestic violence survivors in the Pacific Northwest. So those are, two very exciting things that I have to share. And as a follow-up to this, I will share the recording that I did in January of me singing. And it's the video that I recorded, never looked back on. And now that I'm sitting here, I don't know how many weeks into quarantine, asking myself, why am I not pursuing this? Somebody's got to be great today. Why not me? Right. And so yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's staying inside and safe. And I hope you can tune in. I don't know when this concert's going to be. I will, I'm in marketing, so hopefully I can create a good enough little marketing plan and demand gen around getting people to attend my little concert. And you can join me in our little camper here. Concerts from the camper. All right. Have a good rest of the week, everyone. Stay safe. All right, so we're gonna start with where it all began. It all began with Whitney Houston. So my love of music, or my love of singing, started at a very young age. I remember the Greatest Love of All album when I was 7. And I think I listened to it on cassette every day one summer with my cousin, Ho'olea. And we just talked about this when I was in Hawaii recently. Started with R&B, started with a lot of really big names like Whitney Houston. And then it moved on to when I was in school, I was starting to be classically trained. And then it kind of ended, and along those lines, there was musicals and a lot of more traditional songs, and then eventually evolved into jazz. And so here I am today. I work during the day. I don't gig anymore at night, and I'm wanting to get back into music, and I've got all these different genres that I'm still very much interested in. And what I thought I would do is just do like a little video compilation of these 3 styles, do a little sample of kind of what I have in my repertoire, I guess, as I go back into exploring, like, what do I do next? Do I go back to one of these genres and really try to hone in on one specific one, or do I do multiple at a time? And do I go after a couple of different instruments? I'm really kind of looking for a bigger creative outlet to kind of flex those muscles, and so I figured I'd just do a video compilation. So Whitney Houston, as I mentioned, there are so many epic songs that she sang and helped write and ultimately performed, but this one comes to mind. Now that I'm here with you, I will never let you go. I look into your eyes, and now I know, where do broken hearts go? Can they find their way home? Back to the open arms of a love that's waiting there. And if somebody loves you, will they always love you? I look in your eyes, and I know that you still care for me. So that's kind of where I discovered the power of not just Whitney Houston, but R&B and that style of music. And then I went on to kind of explore more traditional like vocal ensembles and solo singing, classical tunes, and it was in a lot of musicals. And I think there's one that comes to mind where I did a recital, and at the time I was a true soprano. I don't know if I'm a true soprano these days because I'm not a practicing soprano. I'm not practicing my soprano chops, but so here's a classical tune that I remember doing for a recital. Oh mio papino caro, mi piacerebbe quando in Porta Rossa a comperar l'anello. Sì, sì, ci voglio andare. So that's the classical piece, which I love. I can't get enough of classical because there are so many masterpieces out there that exist that were written many, many years ago that really stand the test of time, and they're so beautiful, and there's so many different languages and so many different styles and so many different creators and composers of music that have contributed to hundreds and hundreds of years of different, even classical eras. And so that is definitely one era or one style that I feel like I could go back into, and especially explore other instruments as well. So the last, I would say, leg of the tour, so after I really gained this appreciation for R&B, and then later went on to be classically trained, I almost was, I was ready to kind of tackle jazz, and that being probably the hardest of anything that I've ever performed or studied or sang, played. And jazz is equally as interesting and so challenging in so many different ways and so many different avenues that I could continue on kind of honing in on. And so here's a sample of there's a Vocalese artist named Kurt Elling, and I can't remember which album this was on. I think maybe Man in the Air album. Anyway, this was at least a good decade ago, but he's still around and still making music. But this is one example of kind of not traditional jazz, like Fly Me to the Moon or swing, which you can do that stuff too. But this is really interesting because he, as an artist, takes a melody, whether it was pre-recorded by, say, John Coltrane or Keith Jarrett, and takes a solo or takes a melody and then he puts words to it. So that's one example of kind of vocalese. This is another example where there's not really any words, but there's a lot of sounds and a lot of different types of vowels and noises and scatting, if you will, and it's improvisation at its best, but it's definitely its own kind of piece of music, which I really love and appreciate. And I feel like this is something that I could really sink my teeth into and create my own pieces. So this tune, I don't think I remember the name of it. Maybe it's called The More I Have You, the more I want you, something like that. So this one's a little trickier because I got to figure out the right key. This one starts in the more, no, that's too high. The more I have you, the more that I want you. Come with me and make love with me again. Boom, boom. The more I have you. The more that I want you, come with me and make love with me again. Sab ab oh bab ab oh bab oh baby oh baby oh. Stop it, baby, so do oh, stop it, baby, baby, do oh. Stop it, baby, oh. Stop way, baba, da oh. Sadaka, zebba, dibba, digga, zibba, digga, zibba, digga, dibba, do la la la. Yana, na, 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 one, na, la, baby, oh, Larry, oh. Stop it, baba, da, la, ba, da. So we say goodbye, goodbye, let's out. Ba 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 ba. Saba on, saba on, saba on, boom boom ba. So digga zibba dibba dibba digga dibba do la 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 ba do la ba do la 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 ba do la ba do la 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 ba do la be oh la be oh la be oh. So ba 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 do ba do ba do ba we do down. The more I have you, the more that I want you. Come with me and make love with me again. Come with me and make love. So you can imagine the trio backing it up, or I think it was just drums and bass on that tune. So anyway, that's my now 10-minute video apparently of me kind of summarizing my evolution of music and the different genres, and just figuring out where do I go from here.